What's up, everybody? Welcome to Don't Give Up with Jacob. Today, I have a special guest joining me on my show. Not only that, but she also has her own company. She is the author of a book, and she is the mother to children where one of her children has autism and ADHD, which is also known as AUDHD. So please give a warm welcome to my show, Rebecca Tarrant.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm so glad you can come on my show today so we can talk about what's going on with our lives.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have a big announcement. I haven't announced this yet. Let's do it now. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to get my autism diagnosis,
All right. Sounds
which
great.
is very
So,
exciting. Yes, I self-diagnosed, so I identify as autistic, but I'm going to get the formal diagnosis tomorrow. So my husband is autistic, my son is autistic, and I'm autistic now. So it's the whole family.
wow, that sounds really interesting. And I
Yeah.
also heard that you have your own company known as Autism Kids.
I do. We started a few years ago, and we're mostly known for our inclusive book drive. Last year, we donated 750 books to our local public schools, and all the books had autistic characters and autistic themes. And then we also throw an annual Neurodiversity Pride Day festival where we have inclusive sports and music and art and ice cream and yoga and just everything you could possibly want. So we do that every year as well. And then we just opened a community garden that's inclusive for everyone. So the kids are going to work the garden, and then the teens and adults are going to take the produce to the farmers market to get job skills training. So
Wow,
we've
that's
got a lot going on. Yeah.
interesting. So, I'm gonna ask you, what inspired you to start your company, Autism Kids?
Well, what really happened is that my son came home from school with books he was supposed to read with us every night for homework. And I noticed after a few months that there weren't any disabled or autistic characters in the books. So I went to the school and I asked the school board if there could be money allocated to get those books, and they said no. So that's when I took it upon myself to raise the money for the 750 books. And through that, and through wanting to throw the festival, we needed to become an official nonprofit. So that's how it started. It was all because of my son. Yeah.
Wow, sounds very interesting. He
Hmm.
sounds a lot like me. I also got inspired to write some of my books because I loved reading a lot of books with repetitive texts and
Hmm.
rhymes, which was really interesting to me as a young boy.
Hmm. My son is minimally verbal. He uses an AAC device. Is that your experience? Did you use an AAC device?
Not
Yeah.
really. It was a little bit different. But anyways, I also heard that you published some books.
I did. We just published our first book. It's a children's book. It's called The Inclusive ABCs. And it has content like A is for autism, W is for wheelchair. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to introduce that terminology to children when they're young so that it becomes quote unquote normal, so that they're used to hearing those kinds of words.
Sounds very interesting. So, what inspired you to write this book and where are you selling it?
Well, we really got inspired to write it because there wasn't anything like it. We were looking for books to donate to preschools that were about inclusivity, and we couldn't find any. So we decided to write one. It's available for sale on Amazon, and all the proceeds go towards purchasing inclusive books to donate.
I see. I'm also selling some of my books on Amazon, and I'm also trying to donate some of them to the library. And we're even self-publishing my books, and we might also try to find a publisher for my books, an actual publisher. So, yeah, I want to be more famous with these books. I want them to go places.
Hmm. That's wonderful. How many books have you written?
I have two published right now, and I'm working on writing a couple more.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it really does. So now let's keep this going by asking you, what has your journey been like as a mother with a child that has AUDHD or autism and ADHD?
Mhm. Um, when we first got the diagnosis, it it was very upsetting. The way that they told us, they made it sound like, he's never going to speak, he's never going to have friends, he's never going to do this, he's never going to do that, and it was very, very bleak. And it was very upsetting. And then after a while, the more I looked into autism and the more I looked into the neurodiversity movement, I saw that that's not true. That's not true at all. So, part of the thing that really drives me is that I want parents to understand that there is no fear behind an autism diagnosis. It is not the end of the world. You are the same right before your autism diagnosis as you are 5 minutes later. You're the same person. And we always tell people that neurodiversity is biodiversity, that it's necessary, that it's varied, and that it's vital to the existence of the human race. So my experience with him has been, it's been a learning curve. Our biggest struggle is definitely he struggles to speak. Um, but he's healthy, he's happy, and I think that's really all you can ask for. His autism isn't really a barrier, it's just a different way of thinking. And he manifests a little bit differently than other children. But like I said, he's happy and healthy, and I couldn't be happier to be his mom, really.
Yeah, all moms should treat their kids like special and fragile treasures and should enjoy spending time with their children before they're all grown up, especially with me, since I also sometimes struggle with having autism. Like sometimes I get frustrated over small little things, like when I'm doing art and kind of make mistakes and sometimes I clap randomly and get super energetic, which I just can't help. But still, it's just a different way of thinking for me, and everybody in this world is different, so that's what makes this world unique.
I'm looking forward to telling my son that I'm autistic. I think we're going to do a little cake, like make a birthday cake, and maybe celebrate our family together, like we're all autistic and blow out the candles. And we're going to make it something that's really positive so that he knows that he's like mommy and daddy.
Wow, that sounds
Yeah,
like something really special for you to do. I really like the sound of that idea.
thanks.
No problem. So let's keep this going. And now I'm going to ask you, what are some goals that you have for autism kids and how does it affect the community?
Well, one of our goals is to get as many inclusive books into schools as possible. The other is to increase representation and to help not only the autistic children to learn more about themselves, but the allistic children to learn how to be good friends to autistic children. We really want to get our garden going and get that job skills training because there's not a lot of job skills training programs. Um, so that's really important to us. And we'd really like to spread our Neurodiversity Pride Day Festival throughout the US. So hopefully next year we'll be able to branch out into other places in North Carolina. And then after a few years, hopefully we'll be able to get one in every state.
Wow, those sound like some really big goals. I'm also trying my best. Some of my biggest goals are to make my books super popular so I can sell them in libraries, not just in the US, but worldwide. I also want to become famous where I get to go to schools and read to kids and maybe even read to kids in the library. And I'm also looking forward to um collaborating with some other authors and illustrators to help them on their books. I also want
Mhm.
to turn some of my books into movies and get my own balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It might take a couple of years, but in the end, it'll definitely be worth it, especially since these are some really big goals that I have. And I need to believe in myself, like they're actually going to happen in the future. It might take a couple of years, but it'll all be worth it in the end.
Sometimes you just have to manifest things. You have to really believe in yourself and it happens. It really does. And you have a really good head start. You're young. You've got the advocacy. You've already done so much. I don't see why you can't do all the things you want, including the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, I really want to accomplish many goals, and I just know that they're going to happen. I just know that they are.
Good for you.
Thanks. And by the
hmm
way, what are some other goals that you have besides the Autism Kids? Like, do you want to like write more books, or what are some other goals that you have?
One of the things I'm starting to do is give speeches. So public speaking has become part of my life, and I'll be in a documentary coming up about health equity and about how the latest changes in Medicaid have really impacted autistic children. So really doing more media, podcasts, more books, everything that you're talking about, just really getting out there more and more every year. hmm
Wow, you definitely sound like a lot like me. Like I said, I also want my books to get me places in the world. I want to be very popular. I mean, it might take a couple of weeks or months or years, but I just know that it's going to happen. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'll never stop believing that my books are going to get me places and make me popular. I just know that they will someday. Like I said, it might take a couple of years, but it'll all be worth it in the end.
Good for you. I'm very
Thanks.
proud of you. That's a great way to be.
Yeah, I'm very proud of all that you're doing as well.
Thank you.
No problem. So I want to thank you for coming on my show today, and thank you for speaking to my viewers about what's been going on with your life.
Thank you for having me. It was so nice to meet you, and thank you to your viewers for listening.
No problem. I'm so glad that we could meet so we could talk. That's what life is all about.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Anytime.